Hello everyone and welcome back to Doki Doki Switcheroo. If you haven't watched the previous episode of this, hey, link to that is up there and in the description below. But without further ado, let's get back into day 3? Day 2? I don't even know. Alright, let's see. I need to make a poem for... I don't know if I should just go down the route where I just like try to rizz up Yuri, or if I should like try to like rizz up Satori from this. Oh, this is tricky. This is tricky. Yeah, let's just go with whatever feels natural. Determination. It's still Yuri. Vampire. It's still Yuri. Fantasy. How is it that is apparently Natsuko's favorite? Whatever. Bliss. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Comfort. All right. I really want to like rizz up Satori. Frick. Hopeless. Yes. Disaster. No. Awesome. All right. Wonderful. Right. We're getting somewhere. Sadness. All right. It's got to be like somewhere in between like Yuri and Natsuko. That's where I'm thinking. No! How is extreme a Yuri word? Lucky. Not philosophy. Melody. No! Okay. Fear. All right. Whisper. No! That's not for you, Natsuko! Okay. All right. Hot. All right. Shiny. Vibrant. No! Just no! Peace! No! Royal! No! Okay. Imagination. It's still a Yuri! Poem. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. I enter the club room drowsily. Natsuko and Mateo aren't here yet, and Yuri is busy reading his book. Satori is sitting at a desk across the room with his face resting in his hand. He's probably as exhausted as I am. I quietly slip into the seat next to him. Yo, Satori. Don't you yo Satori me. Well, someone's grumpy today. Gee, I wonder why that is. I smile a little to myself. Yesterday after school, Satori came over and hung out, and we ended up playing video games. All night. What time did we stop playing? Fell asleep at around 4. God, that is incredibly responsible of us. The console was still on when we woke up. We didn't stop playing. We simply passed out. You know, I only agreed to come over if you promised to turn the game off at a reasonable hour. But you didn't. And now we both look like zombies. I hope you're happy. Well, I am. And you should be too. We may be tired, but at least we had fun. Besides, all we need is a little snack to boost our energy. I'm starving. Me too. You got any money? No. Do you? No. I look over at Yuri and gave Satori a playful nudge. Hey, Satori. Let's ambush Yuri and rob him. What? You hold him down and I'll take his wallet. Are you insane? I can hear everything you two are saying. In any case, assaulting me would be pointless. I haven't got any money either. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after you two pulled that irresponsible little stunt last night, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Jeez, dude. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. What is he even reading? How to be a serial killer in 10 easy steps? No worries, Yuri. I like it when you speak your mind. It doesn't happen often, but it's a fun little side of you. Thanks, Satori. Suddenly, Natsuko walks in. He appears to be in a chipper mood as he greets us all before making his way to a desk in the back of the room. Yeah, I put my nose to the air and sniff. There's that sweet scent again. Satori notices my demeanor change. Huh? You smell something? I continue to sniff the air excitedly. Satori sits up. What is it, girl? What do you smell? Sniff it out! My eyes become locked on Natsuko, who is cheerfully pulling a notebook and pencil out of his bag. The scent intensifies when he unzips his bag. I look at Satori confidently. Our stomachs rumble deeply. All logic gives in to desperate hunger. We both get up and swiftly make our way towards Natsuko. Hey guys, how's it go? He trails off. Satori takes a seat on one side of him, and I take a seat on the other side. Our unblinking gaze are locked on Natsuko's confused face. He fidgets nervously. What are you guys staring at? You smell like cupcakes again. Natsuko becomes increasingly nervous. He looks at Satori for mercy. We're starving, Nat. Where are they? Natsuko looks back at me, visibly sweating. Come on, dude. We're languishing here. In sheer panic, Natsuko finally peers at Yuri. Yuri! It would be best for you to relinquish the sweets, unless you wish for them to feast on you instead. just a little playful, like, cannibalism. There's nothing wrong here. Yuri doesn't even take his eyes off his book. Something tells me that even if our intentions were aggressive, Yuri would continue nonchalantly reading. Satori and I lean in closer, trapping Natsuko even more. Not feed us! Finally, Natsuko stomps his foot in defeat. You two are bullies, you know that? Fine. Here, you pair of ravenous wolves. I was gonna share them anyway. Natsuko reaches into his bag and pulls out a tin. He tosses it on the desk behind him. The top pops off from the force, revealing a variety of beautifully decorated fancy cookies. Without thinking, Satori and I are on it instantly. I can only imagine the grimacing look on Yuri's and Natsuko's faces. The noises we make as we devour the cookies are probably horrific from their perspective. In seconds flat, we both retreat, leaving behind only a few broken cookies at the bottom of the tin. Gah! You practically ate them all! You savages! Here, you forgot to eat the tin. Natsuko tosses the tin across the room in our direction. Yuri gives me an amused chuckle. Satisfied, Satori and I trot away to safety. That sugar boost was just what we needed. We're sorry, Nai. Lion and I were so hungry. We owe you one, okay? One? You owe me an entire batch, you bottomless pit! Jeez, Mateo, can you please tell these two? Natsuko glances around. Mateo isn't here. What the? Where is he? I've been wondering that as well. Do you two know anything about where he might be? I haven't heard anything, Lion. I cease picking cookies out of my teeth for a moment and look over at Satori. What? Have you seen Mateo today? Fortunately for me, I have not. It's not like him to be late. He's usually quite punctual. Oh, calm down. He's probably just had something to do today. Or someone. Hey, you tell me Mateo has someone in mind already? Satori and Natsuko chuckle a little. I've already checked out of the conversation and gone back to licking cookie crumbs off my teeth. Maybe Mateo has a, Satori winks and nudges me. Mateo has something, and apparently I'm to guess what it is. Maybe I should have been paying attention to the conversation. A colonoscopy appointment? Satori gives a blank stare. Clearly that wasn't the answer he was looking for. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Wow, your ability to flawlessly read social cues is astounding. Shut up. I meant maybe he has a girlfriend. Well, he is pretty popular after all. I wouldn't be surprised. Mateo's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Hey, look, I know a lot of y'all out there really like Mateo, all right? But for me at least, these three boys have gotten my heart like unequivocally. I don't even know if I said that right or if that's even a word. That's true. Speak for yourself. Suddenly the door swings open and Mateo rushes inside. Apologies, everyone. I didn't mean to be late. I hope no one was worried. If it makes you feel better, I didn't notice or care. He looks at me from the corner of his eye. Lion, back again, I see. You won't be getting rid of me that easily. I'm impressed by your determination. Let's see if you can keep it up. Why were you late today? Girlfriend problems? Mateo looks at Satori with a very bewildered expression. Girlfriend? I don't have... Mateo trails his sentence before scoffing and looking away. I guess he's single. I wonder why that could be. No, that's not the reason I was late. So why were you late? Mateo darts his eyes over at me. I thought you didn't care. Oh, I didn't. Talking about it seems to bother you. So now I'm all ears. I expect him to snap or at the very least ignore me completely. But to my surprise, he gives me a little smirk. Well, not that it matters, but my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kinda lost track of time. How did you not hear the bell? There's the angry glare I was expecting. But for some reason, he reserves it for Natsuko's question. If you must know, I didn't hear it because I was practicing guitar. Everyone in the room looks a little surprised by this information. Guitar? I wasn't aware that you played music as well, Mateo. Yeah, but guitar? That's weird. I'd expect someone like you to play a fancy instrument, like piano or violin or something. Mateo rolls his eyes in annoyance. Of course I play piano. I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old. I just wanted to try something different. That's pretty cool. Is Mateo trying to impress us at this point? I'm not sure. You should play for all of us sometime. Mateo suddenly looks at me. Yep, he is. He's definitely trying to, impress us at this point. I will soon, once I get a little better. What the hell is he looking at me for? I didn't even say anything. And perhaps you will be there as well, Lion. I'd be delighted to play for you if you manage to stay in this club long enough. Mateo smiles sweetly. Why is he being so... his version of nice all of a sudden? Yeah. Looking forward to it. You are quite confident about your abilities to stay in the club, aren't you? I like that. In that case, I can't wait to show you what I can do. He smiles at me again. There's something oddly suggestive about that smile. It makes me feel a little... I'm excited to see that, Mateo. I'm just gonna brush aside that thought. Just completely brush it out, because, y'all don't need to know how that made me feel, okay? No one needs to know how we feel. Good luck to you. Thanks. So, did I miss anything? Satori and I both snap our heads towards Natsuko, expecting him to tattle on us for inhaling his tin of cookies. He eyeballs us for a moment, but in the end, he remains silent. I turn back to Mateo. Nah, everything's been normal. I'm sure Natsuki will bring it up to him eventually. And look around. Everyone has already begun to settle in. Yuri's back to his books and Natsuko wanders back to the closet. Man, seems like no one wants to be bothered today. I slump down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related when I'm alone like this? I guess I could start reading the book Yuri gave me. I'm so bored that reading will only put me to sleep. I close my eyes and I end up listening in on Satori and Mateo's conversation. They're probably gonna sound really lame compared to all the other clubs though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is, the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all. We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve our problem though. What problem? Even if we come up with the most fun idea ever, who's gonna come to a literature event in the first place? It's more important for us to figure out how to get people to actually show up. We need to first accumulate an audience, then we can speak to their creative minds. Wow, Satori is really taking this seriously. It's rare to hear him deliberating like this. A very good point. In that case, you think food will do the trick? The right food will. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Donuts! That's right. Natsuko would love to handle that. Yeah, that works out perfectly. Now, to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling, thinking about those donuts. Also, I admire Satori's dedication to this club. I have so much trouble finding any motivation at all. Satori, on the other hand, can put his mind to anything and make it happen. That's why I let him get on my case about things. I wonder what it'd be like to see the world through his eyes. I opened my eyes to see Satori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Aw, did I wake baby from a little nap? You scared me half to death, you big doofus! Well, tough luck. You shouldn't have been sleeping in the first place. Unfortunately for you, there's no such thing as a napping club. I grab Satori's arm and look into his face with excited eyes. Dude, we need to start the napping club. Stayed up late again, huh? You know, now that you're in this club, you're gonna have less time for video games, so get used to it. Fine, you're always looking out for me, Satori. Well, someone has to. And therein lies the problem, my friend. You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You talk about me staying up late when you start oversleeping last year and continue to do so. The only reason you wake me up on time now is so you can make sure I wake up on time. You don't wake up for you do it for me. Do you ever do anything for yourself? In fact, what are you even wearing? Huh? Satori scanned himself curiously. Oh, my new uniform? Yeah, I accidentally got the wrong size. Is it that noticeable? You look like a 6-year-old trying to wear his father's business suit. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you cared about yourself, you would have paid more attention to what you were ordering. You're not even wearing it properly. Look at the other guys. The other blazers are nicely buttoned and their ties are tucked in. Why is yours still unbuttoned? You specifically got a new one because the other was too tight when buttoned up. Jeez, come here. God. I stand up and start fixing Satori's tie. I tighten it properly and button up the collar of his white undershirt. I tuck the tail into his sweater vest. Then I get to work buttoning his blazer from the bottom, working my way up. Satori smirks a little. You really shouldn't do these kind of things in front of people. They might get the wrong idea about us. I look up at Satori curiously. He's blushing a little. I'm tempted to make this situation as weird as possible for him. It amuses me so. Since when do we care what other people think about us? You scared you won't get a girlfriend if everyone thinks we're a couple? Satori's blush intensifies a bit. Well, no. It's the guys. If they think we're a couple, then you won't be able to, get one of them to ask you out. I really appreciate your help. But why do you care so much about hooking me up with one of your friends? Huh? No reason. I was just, Jeez, sorry I said anything. He averts his eyes. He's adorable when he's flustered. I finish buttoning up his blazer. There, that's better. You're dressed right when your tie, buttons, and belt buckle line up perfectly in a straight line. I look down and notice his pants are crooked. The belt buckle off to one side. Hold on. Lion, wait! I reached out, my fingers curling into the front of his pants and gripping the waistband. With one assertive but gentle tug, I lined the belt buckle with the buttons on Satori's blazer. There we go. Jeez, what'd you do that for? Just so I can get a closer look, okay? Come on, I just need to make sure that you're all set for the day. I don't have an ulterior motive for this. I could have handled it myself. I look at him, smiling playfully. Well, maybe I wanted to handle it today. Satori's face turns bright red. He retreats a few steps. Why you gotta say weird things like that? Sheesh. I snicker triumphantly. I just can't help myself sometimes. Anyway, you look much better now. I can't stand the collar buttoned up like that. I can hardly breathe. Feels like I'm being strangled. I can barely move in this stiff blazer when it's all buttoned up. It's not worth it at all. Satori hastily unbuttons his blazer once more, along with his shirt collar. He also loosens his tie and frees it from underneath his sweater vest. Much better. Having disheveled himself once again, Satori stretches in relief. You have some nerve to talk about my wardrobe. What about you? Where even is your blazer? What do you mean? It's right here. I check my waist, where I usually keep my blazer tied, only to find that it's gone. I feel my face burn with embarrassment. Damn it. You lost it, didn't you? Again. I didn't lose it, alright? I just don't know where it is right now. They mean the same thing, dingus! Oh, shut up. It's probably just in the lost and found again. Or hanging on the back of the chair in the detention room. Or lying in the hallway. Or in the cafeteria. Whatever! It always ends up in the lost and found anyway. It wouldn't end up there if you would just wear it like a normal person. Come on. I look around nervously before lowering my voice a bit. You know why I keep it tied around my waist. I tug embarrassingly at my skirt. I use the blazer as well, extra coverage. Satori grins devilishly and gestures towards the others. You really want to get their attention? Leave the blazer in the lost and found. I don't need to show off the goods in order to get their attention. I happen to be pretty friggin' charming. Okay. It was just a joke. Well, anyway, try to focus a bit on taking care of yourself, alright? If you wake up early, do it for your benefit. Only if you agree to start going to bed at a reasonable hour. Deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than ourselves, huh? Yeah, I think it's always been that way. Alright, guys. Mateo suddenly calls out. Why don't we share our poems now? Sweet! I can't wait to read yours, Lion. Yeah, likewise. I fail to sound enthusiastic as Satori jogs to his desk to retrieve his poem. Alright, let's start with Mateo. Hi again, Lion. How's the writing going? It's going fine. Good. You're implying yourself. That's what matters. I'm trying. Let's see if trying is paying off. Show me what you wrote for today. Sure, here you go. I hand Mateo my poem. Alright, interesting style switch up. A bit reminiscent of Satori's poem from yesterday! I got Satori! Frick yeah! I'm glad to see you trying new things. Even if they are just a rehash of other people's writing styles. Wait, what? I'm just messing with you. Developing your own distinct style comes with time. You're still just a noob. Here, perhaps this will offer some inspiration. He thrusts his poem towards me. Oh my god! Is that the only thing he's thrusting towards me? I reluctantly take it. Play me. Your colors, so bright and beautiful, blind me. Red, green, blue. They flash, expanding across the universe. They won't stop. Your noise is endlessly meaningless. It squeaks violently, screeching across time, piercing through my ears. Sine, cosine, tangent, an endless cacophony of grating waveforms, like dragging a fork through a dinner plate, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust, an endless poem of meaningless. Quit me. Quit me? What the? It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Are you not a fan of that style? Oh, I do like it. I've just never really seen anything like it before. I guess you could say it's very unique. Thank you. I do like standing out in a crowd. It's no different when it comes to my writing. Is this one also about your, epiphany? Well, sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of feelings, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. It's an interpretation up to the reader. Anyways, here's Mateo's writing tip for the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. What? You'll never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? I glance around nervously. What the hell is he even talking to? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. What the hell kind of Truman Show is that? God. I'ma show it to Yuri, Natsuki, then Satori. What a delightfully charming poem, Lion. It's quite emotional, isn't it? May I ask, did you find inspiration in Satori's writing style? I did, actually. He's certainly the emotional type. I do enjoy his style. I'm quite excited to see who you find your inspiration from in tomorrow's poem. Ha! That could be anybody. Would you like to read my poem now? I'd love it. Yuri eagerly hands me his poem. Phoenix, immortal flame, tearing through the sky. Resplendent, aristocratic inferno, spreading her smoldering wings. Destruction, fearless, I hold out my arm. I see the beauty. The phoenix pecks. It hurts, but I will heal. The phoenix seeks out. I am her only friend. I embrace her. Her warmth enfolds me, searing my beasts, my desires, my passions. The phoenix can never be tamed. The sun is where she dwells. When I hold out my arm and call, she comes to me and ignites my soul once more. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more, metaphorical. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. So, what's this poem about? Well, I want to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. The sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Like what kind of hobbies? I asked without thinking. Yuri is visibly shaken. Well, that's not important at the moment. Perhaps we'll discuss it another time. It's fine. I'm sorry for prying. I was just curious. I understand how it can be embarrassing to talk about what many might consider to be an unusual interest. Do you have any of your own, Lion? Well, it depends on what the definition of unusual is. What's normal for me might be considered weird for someone else, you know? That's true. That's why people should respect each other's individuality rather than make fun for it, even if it's difficult. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I'd probably hate myself. Sorry, I'm just ranting a bit now. But I'm glad you're a good listener. In fact, you're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening, even breaking up fights. There really aren't a lot of people like you, Lion. Yuri. Sorry, it's just how I feel. I never thought I would be so comfortable sharing my writing. But now, I look forward to it. It's a nice feeling, and I thank you for that. Yuri smiles at me sincerely. Right, Natsuki, I'm going to shove my poem in your face! Well, it's not a great poem, but it's definitely better than yesterday's. Well, thank you. I'm glad it's not a total train wreck. Well, the point is, you're getting better. So good job. Why is he so goddamn wholesome? Like, I'm not used to this. Thanks, Natsu. Gonna see your poem now. Got it right here. He enthusiastically hands me his poem. Trevor likes dolls. So, the music. Oh, I freaking love it. So, there's this guy who's in my class. Trevor's his name. While everyone thinks he's cool, I think Trevor's lame. Although he does like comic books and can slam dunk a basketball, I found out that Trevor likes to play with Barbie dolls. It's hard to wrap my head around why he's got so many friends. They speak so highly of him, and the praisers never end. Trevor this and Trevor that, from the classrooms to the halls. I wonder what they think of him if they knew about his dolls. One day Trevor came to me and he smiled at me fondly. I grimaced and backed away because I didn't want his doll germs on me. But his intent was friendly and invited me to the mall. I went with to check out the babes while Trevor bought a doll. I do not care that Trevor's kind or that he has a brilliant mind. Holding open doors, cleaning spills from the floor, helping feed the poor, ending all the wars. Shield your wife, hide your daughters, cause Mr. Perfect can walk on water. Yeah, he's smart and yeah, he's fun. No, he's not hurting anyone. Well, I hate to burst your bubble and I hate to hurt your feelings. But I also hate that Trevor douche with every fiber of my being. Someday I'll break my silence about Trevor's love for dolls. I'm gonna let his secret out. I'm gonna tell them all. Not bad, right? I reread the poem a couple of times, nodding to myself. I think I get it. The message in this poem is, don't be a jerk and judge someone for their weird hobbies. Am I right? What? No! Are you serious? Jeez, and here I thought I made the message pretty straightforward too. Natsuki, why are you so mean? God, like, at this point, like, I wouldn't be opposed to Natsuki being, like, the first to die. We all know that they're going to die eventually. It's just a matter of how and when. Do I really need to explain it? Huh, so Trevor and his dolls aren't an analogy for you and your comic books? Natsuki merely smirks and rolls his eyes at me. Ha! Gosh, you're such a dummy. Are you telling me I didn't read this right? My face burns with embarrassment. Well, I thought you were using a simple analogy to tackle complicated issues. I did, but you missed the point entirely. Alright, let me explain. See, sometimes we come across people that annoy the hell out of us. They could be the sweetest person in the world, be talented, super smart, whatever, right? But like, no matter how cool that person may be, there's just something about them that rubs us the wrong way. The subject of the poem literally has no reason to hate Trevor. They don't even know why they hate him. They're just annoyed by everything he does. We know why the subject hates Trevor. It's because they're jealous of him. And jealousy makes people do some pretty immature things. Don't you see? The subject doesn't really care that Trevor plays with dolls. They're just trying to find something anything to nitpick about him in order to try and justify their contempt. The message here is, yes, you will get annoyed with perfectly harmless people, but instead of trying to fuel your hatred by finding the one thing wrong with the person who annoys you, you need to focus more on people's good qualities in order to get yourself out of that mindset born of envy. I mean, you can't just hate someone because they happen to be good at things you're not good at, right? I'm a little taken aback by Natsuko's message. It's a lot deeper than I thought. But after giving the poem one more look, I finally catch on. It's actually a pretty good poem. Hey, Lion, I do agree with you on one thing. I think people need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Right? I think so too. Yuri actually wrote something about that today. Did you say Yuri? Yeah, he said his poem was about an unusual hobby of his. He said people shouldn't make each other feel insecure about those kind of things. Really? Well, I mean, Yuri is pretty weird. So it's not surprising that he has weird hobbies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I wouldn't judge him or anything. Natsuko thinks to himself for a moment. Maybe I should try to take it easy on him, since he's insecure about his odd behaviors and everything. I mean, I hate it when people make me feel insecure. And while Yuri did make me feel insecure yesterday, the way you put it makes it sound like he's learned his lesson. I think so. And even though his writing style is very different, I'm sure he'll appreciate the message in your poem. Well, I don't write unless there's a good message to be taken away from it. It's what I do best, after all. My poems don't just make you feel emotions. It helps you learn what those emotions are in a simple and fun way. Maybe I could teach Yuri a thing or two from today's poem. It's definitely taught me something. Ha! Good! Because tomorrow's poem is gonna be even better, so look forward to it. Right, now it's time for Best Boy. Oh, wow, Lion, this is awesome. I mean, yesterday's poem was amazing too, but this one, it feels special. Can I have it, please? Of course you can, buddy. Yeah, I'm really glad you like it. I'll let you take it once I show it to everyone else. Deal. Can I see your poem now? Help yourself. He excitedly hands me his poem. Sad thoughts. I pop my scalp off the top of my head like the lid of a cookie jar. It's time to clean up in there. Happy thoughts, angry thoughts, all wriggling in the dark crevices of my mind. The happy thoughts are soft and warm. They rub against each other like a bundle of kittens. The angry thoughts are prickly to the touch. The prickles dig into my head and become stuck. The angry thoughts are mean to the happy thoughts. They never get along, so I pluck out the happy thoughts, since the angry thoughts are way too strong. I put the happy thoughts into bottles, where they stay safe and sound. I keep them all up on a shelf, for when my friends come to town. The angry thoughts get stronger. The prickles then grow longer. Angry thoughts, angry thoughts, angry thoughts in my head. They glow. The happy thoughts, they tingle. Their numbers begin to dwindle. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. In bottles, all in rows. Night after night. Wait, more dreams. Dream after dream. More bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, searching all the nooks and crannies. The angry thoughts eventually die. But when they do, they become hard and cold. I don't like the way they feel. Sad thoughts, sad thoughts, sad thoughts, forever embedded in my mind. Dust settles onto my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. I check my head, but find no more. My friends look through the locked front door. I open the door, and in they come. Do they really want my bottles that bad? I put them down from the shelf and give them to each one of my friends. Each one of my bottles. But when I let the bottles go, they slip out of my hands and shatter on the tile beneath my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. In shards all over the floor. Angry thoughts, angry thoughts, angry thoughts. Banging on my door. Sad thoughts, sad thoughts, sad thoughts. Eating at my core. My friends are yelling, pleading. My heart is pounding, bleeding. I want the angry thoughts to go away. I want the happy thoughts instead. But all I hear are the sad thoughts going. Echo, 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 echo. On repeat inside my head. Holy. Satori, I can't believe you really wrote this. I told you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever. Look at the poem over and over again. I lower my eyebrows. This poem is beautiful, but also a bit concerning. Can I ask you a question? Sure. What happens when the cookie jar is empty? What do you mean? I look at the poem again. Each time I read it, I grow increasingly worried. I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but I do feel the need to address my concern. I decide to choose my words carefully. Satori, I need you to promise me something. Anything. I need you to promise me that if your cookie jar ever runs out of happy thoughts, you need to tell me so I can refill it. Will you do that for me? Come on, don't read that much into it. It's just a poem. There's a lot of feelings in this one. Feelings that make me think that maybe some of those happy thoughts should stay where they are, instead of being put into bottles. Don't you think? Okay, I get it. Jeez, sometimes I think you worry about me too much. Well, of course I do! You're a precious cinnamon bun who needs to be protected at all costs. I take immediate delight in embarrassing him. Hey, I'm not! I can't help but giggle a little. Jeez, that's enough. Why do you always have to ruin our moments by saying something dumb or weird? He says that, but he can't help but break into a small smile anyway. Do you love me for being dumb and weird? Admit it. He tries to hold back, but finally relents and shows me a big smile. Fine, you win. In any case, you seem really passionate about your writing. I hold up his poem. It shows. Well, I'm glad. I look at the poem one more time before I hand back to him, so I can finish sharing it. Remember what I told you? I will. Alright, guys. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned for today, so if all of you could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? It is. Do we really have to do something for the festival? I mean, it's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't do very well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much, boys. We're gonna keep it simple. We won't need more than a few decorations. Satori's been working on posters, and I've been designing pamphlets so we can give out during the event. Well, that's great and all. What exactly are we doing for our event? Haven't you heard? We're going to be performing. Performing? Mateo? Yep, we're going to have a poetry performance. Each one of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. And the cool part is, we're going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Satori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Satori points to the poster he's been coloring, which he had pinned on the wall. Are you kidding me? You haven't even started putting those up anywhere, have you? Yeah, actually I have. Do you have a problem with that? Jeez, you should talk to us about it first. I'm not performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. You should have consulted us before making a decision like this. Now you two listen here. Mateo, try to understand where they're coming from. Remember, Nat and Yuri never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask of them to recite their poems out loud in front of a group of people like that. I guess we kind of overlooked that. Well, I'm really sorry. But I still think we should at least try. We're responsible for the fate of this club. All of us. If we each put on a good performance, that will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Don't you want to inspire others to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. All it's gonna take is standing in front of a room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem. I know you're all capable of that at least. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Satori looks worried. Mateo can be really careless about other people's feelings sometimes. I can't help but feel that, in a way, he's right this time. I guess that leaves me no choice. I say kudos to Satori and Mateo for trying so hard to get new members. The least the rest of us can do is set an example. Count me in. Mateo quickly glances in my direction and smiles in approval. Well, I guess. Natsuki was clearly out of arguments. Alright, fine. I'm in too. Awesome! What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone's expectant faces. I guess I don't have much of a choice. Yes! That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Way to be a drama queen, Yuri. Anyway, let's move on to the next event. I want each of you to recite a poem in front of all of us. Any poem you want. It doesn't even have to be the one you wrote. It'll be good practice. What? No! Mateo, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite a poem in front of us, how do you expect to do it in front of a group of strangers? I don't know. There's no way I'll go first. Once again, my mouth speaks before my brain can react. All eyes are instantly on me. Right, Lion! Well now, aren't you all fired up? I'm just gonna start us off, but if you're feeling confident, go on ahead. I will. I have an idea that I think will help. I've flipped through my phone for something to recite as the guys all take their seats. I stand at the front of the room. A smirk creeps across my lips when I find what I'm looking for. This should do the trick. Alright, gentlemen, this is a piece by a famous author named Theodore Giselle. I'm sure you're familiar with his work. Yeah, here we go. I hope this works. I start reading out loud. Within a few moments, Satori and Natsuki start giggling. A smile spreads across Yuri's face when I see his chest heave with laughter as he desperately tries to suppress it. The piece is full of crazy tongue twisters, which I try to recite without stammering. I managed to complete the entire thing without tripping over the words. By the time I'm finished, Natsuki and Satori are snorting and have tears in their eyes. Yuri has even managed a few hearty laughs that reverberate throughout the room. I look at Mateo and shrink back a little. He does not look amused in the least by my flawless rendition of Dr. Seuss' Fox and Socks. Lion, I thought you were going to take this seriously. Hey, lay off her, Mateo. Did you see what she just did? Huh? Lion has clearly performed something light-hearted and music in an attempt to take the tension out of the room. And now, Yuri stands up. I'm ready to perform my poem. I call going next. Okay then. In that case, great job, Lion. Damn right, good job. Thanks, Mateo. Just trying to help. Seems I continue to underestimate you. You keep surprising me. Mateo smiles at me proudly. Meanwhile, Yuri steps in front of the room. This poem is called Crimson Dancer. Yuri's voice is deep and commanding as he begins to recite his poem. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that he enunciates with perfect timing. He finishes, and everyone is stunned. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone soon follows, giving Yuri the recognition he deserves. Yuri smiles and bows his head in appreciation before returning to his seat. My turn! Natsuki slips out of his seat and scurries to the front of the room. My poem is called Backflip. Natsuki takes a deep breath. Once he starts, he seems to grow even more enthused. The poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it actually sounds pretty good when performed out loud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, giving life to the poem. He finishes, and everyone applauds. Thank you, thank you. If you like this one, you'll love what I choose for the real performance. Well, I guess I'll... Me next! Mateo remains in his seat. Oh, I feel so bad for Mateo, frick. He appears a bit irritated. Satori wastes no time flying to the front of the room. The others' poems were all written on sheets of paper. Satori, meanwhile, stands up behind the podium, armed with nothing but an ear-to-ear grin. His poem is called The Last Star. Satori begins his poem. It's serene and bittersweet, like the one he shared today. I listen carefully to the words, and thankfully, it's not as concerning as the other one. But it definitely makes me see Satori in a whole new light. He finishes and we applaud once again. Thanks, Lion! Very nice, Satori. The next time, try to recite your work with a little more enthusiasm, as well as a little more force. That gentle delivery of yours requires a little more grit. I frown a little. Why is Mateo picking on Satori all of a sudden? It seems to bother me more than it does him, though. Okay, I understand. I'll practice more at home. I hope you do. Because next time, I'll make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. Challenge accepted. Satori cheerfully takes a seat. I bite the inside of my cheek. Why did Mateo's criticism annoy me so much? Mateo finally takes his turn at the front of the class. This poem is called Do Not Disturb. Mateo begins his recitation. His clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, his inflection is pristine. He knows exactly how to put emotion behind each line he recites, bringing the words to life. There's no way he hasn't done this before. I look around me. Everyone seems to be in awe. Finally, he finishes. The four of us applaud. Mateo smiles. That was amazing, man! Great job! Thank you. It was really good. I'm glad Lion went first to lighten the mood. I wouldn't have wanted to read mine at all if we had to follow Mateo. How do you feel about having to do this in front of a group of strangers, Natsuko? Well, I think it'll be easier than doing it in front of you guys. I can put on whatever face I want in front of other people. When it's just you all, it's a little embarrassing. It's the other way around for me. Well, I'm proud of you all for doing this. You did very well. It might be hard, but now they have an idea of what it's like. You'll do fine. Make sure to pick a poem and get in enough practice before the festival. Satori and I will be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. And Lion, don't worry. I'll pick a real poem for the festival. I just want to break the ice and make everyone feel comfortable. I know, and it worked. So feel free to recite any poem you like. I trust your performance will be entertaining regardless of what you perform. Your efforts are showing, Lion. It pleases me greatly that you're applying yourself. Happy to help. Alright guys, I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but try to write poems for it tomorrow as well. It's been working out perfectly so far, so let's keep it up. We'll finish planning for the festival tomorrow, and we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday is a big day. Don't lose your nerve. I can't wait! We can do this. It's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. I stand up. I'm a little more enthusiastic about the festival now. Not as much as Satori and Mateo, but I'm excited to see how things turn out. For the sake of the club, I'll do my best. Ready to go, Satori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. Kind of adorable, isn't it? Satori blushes. Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. Must be a little nice, though. Being able to do everything with someone. Come on, we don't do everything together, right, Lion? I could say no and be done with it. I simply can't resist. I'll tell him about the time we showered together the whole time. Wait, what? It wasn't a shower. It was a bath. Duh. Satori's face turns bright red after realizing what he just said. Natsuko quickly clasps both hands over his mouth, snickering. Yuri smirks and laughs gently. Mateo rolls his eyes and chuckles to himself. Yeah, I mean, look, we were kids, okay? It happened a long time ago. It happened 2 weeks ago. Before I can finish my sentence, Satori slaps his hand across my mouth and straddles me across the chest with his other arm. Yeah, well, look at the time. We gotta go. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. I offer a muffled bye and wave to the guys as Satori drags me out of the room. I walk home with Satori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot has already changed. But today, Satori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Satori, you alright? Oh yeah. Sorry, I was spacing out. Oh, good. I thought for a second you were mad at me for the thing I said before we left. Well, thanks for telling them that, by the way. Are you trying to ruin your chances with one of them? They know I was joking. You better hope they do. Anyway, that's not what I was thinking about. I was actually thinking about something from earlier. So let's just say that one day, Mateo asked to walk home with you. What would you do? What? Where'd that come from all of a sudden? Oh, hey, ha, hey, oh, God. Honestly, I would walk home. Can I choose all of them? Like, please. I need a Doki Doki Literature Club mod that allows me to just, like, openly just flirt with all of them without having any issues. Oh, God. I will have to say Satori because I'm trying to go down the Satori route. I want to raise his affection. Oh, Satori. Satori, I wouldn't ditch you for anyone. But he's so charming. So you walk home with him. Jeez, you know that's not what I mean. It's just that was our goal in the first place, right? I know what we're trying to do here. I'm not gonna disregard you in the process. I'm not gonna take something that's our thing and do it with someone else. I'm a better friend than that. Give me a little more credit. You're silly, Lion. Mateo would deserve it if he wanted it, so I like to think I decide who deserves to walk home with me, thank you. and I've already made up my mind. Yeah, I guess you're right. We split off at our junction. Now I watch him leave, and I'm left feeling awkward and concerned. When does it feel like Satori is starting to regret helping me? I hope it doesn't occupy his mind too much. I'd hate for him to make himself sad over it. The festival's only a few days away. Who knows what'll happen at that time. Well, it's time for more poems. Okay, let's see. Okay, I know vibe... Frightening? Ah, god damn it. I'm trying to go for... Okay, maybe clumsy, disaster, hopeless. Hopeless. Yes! Okay. I'm trying to go down the Satori route, and I'm just hoping that I get it right. Laugh. Okay, it's gotta be simple. It's gotta be simple words. Shame. Right? Okay, let's go for... No, eternity is definitely a Yuri thing. Comfort. Yes. Alright, beauty. Yes! Alright. Desire. No! Although Yuri is fine. Yuri is freaking fine. Why? Alright, family. Yes. Alright, twirl. No! Variance. No! Awesome. Alright, explode. How is explode a Yuri word? I would expect that to be a Natsuko word. Music. Okay. Empty. Right. Not Doki Doki. Anxiety. Nah, special. Yes. Daydream. Yes. Electricity. No! How is electricity a Yuri word? Tragedy. Yes! Well, and I thought Mateo was late. Yes, but I, at least, was practicing guitar. Where have you been, Lion? I thought the idea of a festival event may have scared you off. Their reactions are not exaggerated. I did show up in a classroom almost 25 minutes late. I feared Mateo would be infuriated, but he seems more worried than anything. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had after-school detention. I got here as fast as I could. Ooh, detention, huh? Did you get in a fight or something? No, nothing like that. It was nothing, really. The teacher was just overreacting. Well, what did you do? Enough to warrant a trip to the principal's office and get 25 minutes of detention? Quit beating around the bush and tell him what you did. Everyone jumps as Satori's voice screeches across the room. I look to see him sitting at a desk, his face contorted with an agitated skull, his fingers anxiously fidgeting with a pencil. I eye him suspiciously. I've seen his cranky days before, but this one is not like any I've ever seen. He's been like this all day. He almost seems like a different person today. Just my luck. I had to get in trouble in a class we share. I shrink back a little. It wasn't a big deal. I was just doodling on the desk. Jeez, you could wipe it clean with a damp paper towel. That's not the point. You're vandalizing school property. Lion, you draw. Well, sometimes. Are you any good? Not really. I saw doodles on her notebook. She's actually not bad. A hidden talent. Impressive yet again. Idiot, stop encouraging her! Visibly shaken by the outburst, the other three retreat behind me. Great, it's up to me to be the brave one. I walk over to Satori and sit at the desk in front of his. He gives me yet another scowl. What's your problem? You're my problem. I can't believe you, Lion. 3 days in and you're already showing up late. I thought you were going to take this seriously. Way to prove me wrong. And he's worse than I thought. I mean, I was initially willing to look into this club because I thought Satori would show me at least some leniency on occasions such as this. But this reaction is a bit exaggerated. Hey, I've only been late 1 day. Give me a break and stop blowing this out of proportion. This isn't a game, alright? Don't think you can get away with this just because we've known each other for such a long time. If you're not gonna put in some effort to show up on time, then don't bother showing up at all. I'm sorry, okay? Jeez, stop being irrational. I'll quit being irrational when you stop being irresponsible. Look, the point is I showed up. So get on my back about it. Well, thanks for gracing us with your presence, your highness. But strolling in whenever you feel like it will not be tolerated. If Mateo won't kick you out, I will. I slam my hands on the desk and stand up. Well, excuse me, but I don't think that's your call, Mr. Vice President. The pencil he's tightly clutching suddenly snaps in two, the pieces falling to the ground. Satori jumps to his feet. You want to bet? Hey! Both of you need to stop this right now. Don't make me separate the two of you. Mateo's tone is serious. Then again, so was this fight. I shoot Satori a glare before turning away. I'll save you the trouble, Mateo. I'm sitting over there today. Good. Fine. Jerk. I take a seat clear across the room, as far away from Satori as possible. In the many years we've known each other, we've fought plenty of times. This was the first time it's ever been so intense. Throw me out of the club? After it was so excited to have me join? I don't know what's gotten into him, but I know that I don't like him one bit. I must be visibly flustered as I suddenly see Mateo timidly approach me. He kneels down at my desk, smiling gently. He seems surprisingly humble today. Hey, Lion. You okay? Yeah. I'm fine. Why? What's up? Well, this may sound strange, but have you noticed anything up with Satori lately? Anything up with him? You mean in regards to his little tantrum? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it seems to be moodier. Not just with you, but with everyone. I mean, he's just having a bad day. We all have grumpy days, you know? He just has a tendency to over-exaggerate things when he's upset. He's been that way since he was a kid. Mateo peers across the room at Satori, who is idly dragging an eraser up and down the desk. I think there's something more on his mind. I'm surprised you haven't noticed anything. You certainly know him a lot better than I do. He'll be fine by tomorrow. These grumpy days are few and far between for him. You know how happy and energetic he usually is. I say that, but in the back of my mind, I can feel something is not quite right today. Maybe I should talk to him. You sure you want to do that? I mean, he seems like he wants to be left alone. Well, you did just get in a fight with him, so he may not be eager to talk with you anytime soon. But maybe he'll feel more comfortable opening up to me. Between you and me, I think he's acting out because he's a little jealous. Jealous? Jealous of what? I probably shouldn't be saying this. Before you joined, Satori only talked about you. To be honest, we thought you were his girlfriend for the longest time. At least that's how he made it sound without actually saying it. What? No way. He actually gets embarrassed at the thought of people assuming we're a couple? Around you, maybe. Did you ever think that maybe he has different opinions about you when he's around the rest of us? Anyway, I've been working with him closely over the past few days. And since you've joined, I've noticed him steadily growing grumpier towards everyone. So I think maybe he's having a problem with, well, sharing you with the rest of us? Sharing me? I've said too much. What do I know anyway? Just forget it. I'll go talk to him. So don't worry about it too much, okay? Mateo smiles meaningfully. I don't know how he expects me to forget about it, though. He gets up from the desk and walks across the room to where Satori is sitting. He takes a seat next to Satori and gently starts talking to him. But he's keeping his voice so quiet, I can't hear him from here. I sigh and lean back in my chair. Even though Satori was being a jerk, I still can't help but worry about what might be wrong. There's nothing I can do besides wait for Mateo. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over his book. But he looks away just as quickly with a flustered expression. It looks like he wants to come over, but something seems to be preventing him from approaching me. I impatiently decide to approach him myself. I stand up from my desk and sit in the one next to us. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. I could tell you wanted to be left alone. Oh, yeah? How could you tell that? Well, it's something I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot your posture and expression. You're kinda right. I'm sorry if it caused you any concern. No need to apologize. Your troubles are only the concerns of those willing to share in that concern. Of course, there's nothing wrong with finding comfort in keeping to yourself. But if you like to share your thoughts, I'm willing to listen. It's just, I'm feeling uneasy about Satori. Satori, you say? I had a feeling that fight between you two earlier was out of the ordinary. There's something bothering him today and he won't tell me what's wrong. I'm worried something happened to him. How admirable. The two of you have been friends for a long time, haven't you? Yeah, since we were kids. I see. Perhaps it's unusual for him to be dismissive to you about his feelings. Exactly. It's really unlike him. I mean, I know him better than he knows himself. There's no way I'm reading too much into it. Am I right? Yuri thinks to himself for a minute. The world is full of meaning, Lion. and there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think there's a reason behind his odd behavior as well? I think Satori is a very complex individual. His mannerisms on the outside don't always match what's going on the inside of his head. He may not always know what he wants. I too have noticed his strange behavior. Over the past couple of days, in fact. It has concerned me as well. In your case, it seems he was fully occupying your mind, wasn't he? He was. I do love watching you two interact. Hey, yo, do you like to watch? Is that what I'm getting here? It makes me wish. I had siblings. That's really... Wait, siblings? Yes, the way you and Satori are with one another. It's like watching a brother and sister interact. You're so comfortable with each other. It's easy to see you're very close. You trust each other. You tease each other. Even seem to love each other. I definitely don't get romantic vibes from you two. Siblings, huh? I look into Yuri's eyes. His expression is gentle and curious, but it doesn't last. Embarrassed, he averts his gaze. Am I wrong to assume that? I can't help but blush the more I think about it. I don't know. Yuri chuckles gently. Sometimes a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. Maybe you have feelings that you never knew were hidden within you. I mean, he would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about him. Well, right now, the only thing I feel is worried. I understand. Perhaps it might help take your mind off it if we do a little reading. I mean, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, that might help. Actually, before we begin, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Again with the tea. Not at all. Thank you very much. If there's one thing that can help make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and walks to the closet. I follow and watch as he retrieves a pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Could you hold this for a second? Yuri hands me the pitcher and fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this into the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. He walks past me and sets the kettle on the teacher's desk. I simply watch his movements. His broad shoulders and long torso make Yuri appear elegant, yet masculine and methodical. Okay, now we can get the water. Would you care to join me? Yeah, why not? Excellent, let's go then. Where are you off to? Yuri's making tea, so we're gonna get some water. I see. This water, is it uncharacteristically heavy? No. Will you be retrieving it in a large bucket, perhaps? Of course not. Then tell me, why does this task require the both of you? Seems like one person can handle it, don't you think? Well, I figured... Yuri suddenly gives an unbelievably fake-sounding laugh. Mateo, please! You're the president of the club, not our mother. We don't need your permission. He finishes with another condescending chuckle. My mouth gapes. Did Yuri just outsnot Mateo? That was awesome! I bite my lips to try to hide my smile. Well, I suppose you've got a point. I'm glad we can agree. Let's go, Lion. Yuri exits the room. I follow, mesmerized. Once in the hallway, Yuri freezes, then buries his face in his hands and groans. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Like what? You didn't say anything wrong. It's not what I said. It's how I said it. You must think I'm nothing but a stuck-up snob. I promise, I'm not like that. I'm sorry, Lion. Hey, Mateo's lucky a big guy like you didn't pick him up and toss him through the wall. I mean, sure, I wasn't expecting a reaction. But really, it just put him in his place. Mateo should mind his own business. Being club president doesn't mean he can run other people's lives. And he's always such a snob to everyone else. It's cool to see him get a taste of his own medicine. Lion, why do you insist on being so kind and understanding, even when I'm the one who's wrong? Well, the bad things you think you do are child's play compared to some of the stuff I've done. It's not like you got confrontational or anything. It did make me angry, though. So you got a little emotional. I can't hate you for reacting to Mateo being a jerk. What kind of friend would I be to judge you for doing that? Friend, you say? That's right. And as your friend, I'll stick up for you. Even if you get a little sassy if our club president. Lion, I really like being friends with you. Likewise. Anyway, Right, let's go. Yuri and I walked to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Lion, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. My favorite. You've never had it, have you? Never heard of it before in my life. But I'll drink it. Yuri chuckles to himself. Well, I think you'll enjoy it. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. He fetches a teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, he even starts humming a little to himself. Good to see you in such a happy mood. Is it? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking and decided I'd try expressing myself a little more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When I'm around you, at least. That's great, Yuri. I like being able to make you happy. You worry for my happiness? It's so endearing. It's strange, but also relieving to see Yuri in such a good mood. He's been very quiet and shy since I joined. But it's obvious that he has the potential to be a very outgoing person once he feels comfortable. I watch as Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Lion, I have an idea. How about we sit on the floor today? Sure. Any particular reason why? Well, I think it might be easier for both of us to see the pages if we sit on the floor instead of at the desk. It may work out better considering your my figure, right? I was going to say your posture. What's wrong with my posture? Well, it's just you seem to slump over or to the side a bit when you read. Not that it's your fault or anything. I guess it's just your... My figure? You know, the thing I just said? You can say it too, Yuri. It's not that kind of F word. Yuri blushes even more as he struggles to hide a smirk of amusement. As if taking tremendous effort, he finally faces me again. Alright. I think sitting on the ground with your back against the wall will help straighten your reading posture. Which could use that kind of support considering your figure. I smile in triumph. Thank you, Yuri. I appreciate your concern over my comfort. He relaxes even more. I'm glad. I take the book out of my bag and hand it to Yuri. We then take our seats against the wall. Once again, I find Yuri's impressive build impedes my ability to see the book properly. I just can't see anything over that mighty fine upper body of his. I still can't see a thing. Well, let's try this. Yuri scoots a little closer and rests his hand on the ground beside me. I find myself now practically pressed against his tapered torso, but at least I can see the book way better than I could at the desk. This position isn't particularly a bad thing for me either. There we go. You should be able to see now. Is this okay with you? Yeah, this is fine. My eyes suddenly light up as a sweet scent fills my nostrils. This time it's not coming from Natsuki. It's coming from Yuri. Specifically his pocket. He must have caught me sniffing the air because he smells devilishly. The nose of yours is truly impressive. I know you like sweets, so... Yuri pulls out a bag of chocolates from his pocket. I brought these. I think they will complement the tea as well. Part of me wants to attack the bag of chocolates. But a bigger part of me doesn't want Yuri to see me turn into a ravenous beast again. Well, not yet anyways. Am I down bad in this game as well? Like, is that what I'm reading? I put on a timid smile. Thank you, Yuri. I think I'll wait on for a while though. You understand, right? He did witness me consume half a tin of cookies after all. Surely he'll realize even I need at least 20 minutes between snacks. Yuri thinks for a moment, then nods. I understand completely. In that case, he suddenly gives the book to me. You hold the book today. Alright. Confused, I take the book. Yuri then hands me my teacup while I flip over to the correct chapter. I awkwardly take it and set it next to me while I struggle to keep the right page open. I suddenly realize that in this position, I need to take extra special care not to accidentally slump on my left, lest I end up on his lap. I'm hoping that sitting against the wall will help with that, and that my slumping/leaning is really due to my chest and not my laziness. I also hope that me holding the book doesn't make it too awkward for Yuri to read now. I immediately begin reading. The story is getting more interesting and I'm slowly becoming invested in the characters. It doesn't take me long to become immersed once again. This must be what it's like for Yuri all the time, having the world around him fade away as he becomes engrossed in the story. After a few minutes, I feel him relax a bit too. My concentration is suddenly broken when I hear the crinkling sound of the chocolate bag. Sorry. No worries, it's your chocolate. Still, I'll try not to interrupt too much. You're fine. I continue reading. god! Why does Yuri look like this? Oh, why does he look like this? This is not fair! And watch Yuri pop a chocolate in his mouth from my peripherals. I feel myself starting to lean and quickly correct my posture. But it's hard to concentrate when my arm is practically resting on Yuri's thigh. I can hear him go for another chocolate. I keep my eye on the book, but I can see him hold a candy up in the corner of my vision. Oh, what's he doing? Without taking my eye off the book, I part my lips slightly, preparing to ask him what he wants. Suddenly, Yuri places the chocolate in my mouth. I clamp my lips over it automatically. My concentration breaks. Ah! What the? Did you just... I look over at Yuri, desperate to confirm what just happened. Yuri. Yuri's face turns bright red. I'm sorry. I guess I must have misinterpreted why you didn't want to touch the chocolate. I thought you didn't want to smudge the pages. Perhaps I shouldn't show the cheese puff stains on the previous pages. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, well, I was mostly hoping for Satori, but I guess this works. I definitely wasn't expecting you to. Chocolate has melted on my tongue at this point. Oh my god, this is delicious. What is this, hazelnut cream? I wasn't expected to have chocolate stuffed in my face. It kind of took me by surprise. Damn, how can I get mad when it tastes so good? It's imported from Germany. This is probably the best thing I've ever had in my mouth. It's very decadent, isn't it? I'm glad you're not angry with me. Would you like another one? The grin! No, don't! My first instinct is to reach for the bag, but the way he's looking at me makes me think he has something else in mind. I look up at him curiously. My heart is pounding. I watch as he reaches into the bag and pulls out another chocolate. He holds it between his fingers. This should be illegal. He should not be giving me bedroom eyes like this. Oh! Our eyes meet. Neither of us avert our gaze. I can't believe we're doing this. He gently offers the chocolate. Like before, I part my lips. But it's different this time. He takes the chocolate and places it gently on my tongue. The tip of my tongue lightly grazes his fingers as I curl it over the sweet truffle. Alright, thank you, Mateo. Yuri quickly jolts back. I nearly choke on the chocolate. It's time to share our poems. The tea party's over, you two. Put the teapot and cups away and get your poems ready. The spell is abruptly broken. God, Mateo has the worst timing. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups while I take the teapot. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up anytime soon. I thrust my hand into the bag and pull out 4 more chocolates, stuffing them into my mouth in sheer frustration. And also because I have no self-control. Mateo. Hi, Lion. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at a festival? What? No? I'll think about that over the weekend. Right now, I want to know what you found out about Satori. His friendliness diminishes a bit. Straight to the point, I see. You must care about him more than I realized. It's understandable. Your history of him. That's what holds you both together. And it's an important thing, history. It defines who we are and the relationships we develop with others. Mateo gives me a curious look. History with someone defines how the person sees you. And how you see them. Yeah, I'm not sure what Mateo's getting at. It's making me weirdly uncomfortable. Look, just tell me what you found out. Mateo gives a sigh. He seems almost disappointed, though I have no idea why that could be. Tell me, Lion. Have you been flirting with Satori lately? Flirting? What the hell does that have to do with anything? I'm not sure how to respond to that. I mean, I treat him like I always do. Like a brother? Brother? Never mind. Look, I know how much you care about Satori. And I know how awful you feel if anything bad happened to him. So keep an eye on him. He was very happy when you joined the club. To be honest, he didn't tell me why he's acting up. I still stick to my original theory on that. In any case, this really isn't the time to be talking about it. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. I let Mateo take the poem I'm holding. Why does this not surprise me? Mateo sighs and shakes his head as he hands my poem back. It's a good poem. Perhaps reading it will put Satori in a better mood. Since you clearly wrote it for him, I didn't... It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. He forces a sad smile. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now. Alright. Tale of the Ignorant Hermit. There was once a hermit who lived in a cave. The cave was part of a small island. The island was on a lake. The lake was on a hill. The hill was tucked away in the deepest part of the woods. The woods were hidden behind a mighty mountain range, and the hermit was safe. He wanted for nothing. He worried about nothing. He knew nothing of the world outside his seclusion, and he was happy. The hermit lived in his cave, on his island, on the lake, on the hill, in the woods, behind the mountains, for as long as he could remember. The hermit didn't know he was ignorant, and he was happy. One day, the hermit looked up at the sky, and he spotted a feather, drifting carelessly in the breeze. For the first time in the hermit's life, he was curious. He reached out and took the feather between his thumb and forefinger. Little feather, such a journey you have made. What brings you to my cave, on my island, on my lake, atop my hill in the woods, behind the mountains? What tales do you have to share? The feather quivered in response. It mattered not where you've been. It only matters where you've ended up, and what you've learned along the way. You, meanwhile, will learn nothing, so long as you live in this cave, on this island, on this lake, atop this hill, in these woods, behind these mountains. You will remain an ignorant hermit. My journey has just begun. With a gust of wind, the feather drifted afloat again. The hermit watched the feather climb up higher until it disappeared. The hermit now had knowledge of his ignorance, and while he desperately clung to his safe home in the cave, on the island, on the lake, atop the hill, in the woods, behind the mountains, he is no longer happy. I look up at Mateo quizzically. I'm allowed to know what this one's about. I guess I can share my thought process behind this one. See, I have nothing against learning and seeking answers. Asking questions and gaining knowledge gives life meaning, after all. But you don't always have control over the kind of knowledge you receive. Sometimes you end up learning something new that you wish you never had, you know? I think I get it. It's like not seeing a new movie yet and having someone spoil it for you by giving away the ending. Exactly. You can't predict when someone's going to reveal something to you that you don't want to hear, or when someone will force knowledge on you that you never even thought about. But after you learn it, it will get stuck in your head and you end up overthinking it. It can be annoying at first, or it could literally drive you insane. In the end, the curiosity of the human species is almost paradoxical. We're so desperate to learn and explore, but if we did find all the answers, wouldn't life lose its meaning? That's why I wrote this poem, because sometimes ignorance is bliss. Wouldn't you agree? I do, actually. It's pretty deep stuff, man. I'm glad you like it. Anyway, here's Mateo's writing tip of the day. Oh boy, this again. Look, Satori trusts you more than anyone in this world. If he's going to tell anyone what's wrong with him, it's you. So just give him a couple of days to cool off, then try talking to him again. I'm sure he'll be more willing to open up to you at that point. Mateo. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Let's talk with Yuri. Well done, Lion. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, for sure. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this is a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Mateo. I think we all feel a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I agree. This isn't the dull spike to the forehead I thought it would be. At least I get to spend an hour after school every day hanging out with a room full of cute guys. That's my silver lining. It's actually fun trying something new and getting to know everyone through their writing. Well, you know how I like to say, writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself. Let me ask you, have you learned anything new about yourself, Lion? I'm not sure. I guess I haven't really stopped to think about it. You know, in the end, it doesn't really matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. The most important thing is exploring and discovering yourself. That's good to know. You know so much. I'm so afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. You're so sophisticated with your writing and have so much advice to share. Well, my opinions are just opinions. Yuri thinks for a minute. He suddenly looks embarrassed. I do apologize if my opinions come off as pretentious. I haven't made you uncomfortable or intimidated, have I? It would be awful if I did. Aww. He's so adorable when he thinks he did something wrong. No, I feel bad for my poor phrasing. You're fine, big guy. I'm just saying that I really respect your opinion. You're so knowledgeable. I've learned a lot from you. You have? I'm so relieved to hear that. I'm sorry I jumped to that conclusion. I just don't want you to think I'm some condescending know-it-all. No, not at all. I think you're really helpful and smart. I always learn something new from you. I'm glad. Please, let me know if I ever come off as arrogant or if I overstep my bounds. I don't think that's ever going to be a problem, Yuri. Anyway, ready to share a poem now? Here you go. Marvelous creation, endless horizon, shimmering like an infinite pool of diamonds, teeming with life, beauty abundant, a vast population of otherworldly organisms, majestic, the waves toll against the shore, powerful as they rise and fall, curl and crash, see the water dance, whirlpool splashing, reflecting, a soft strip of warm, squishy sand against a wild, raging sea, an unpredictable void of black water, the power to start life, the power to end life, merciful and merciless. The sun blazes, I am envious. The sun sets, I must rest. The ocean bids me farewell as I retreat, knowing I will return tomorrow when the sun climbs high again. Now I know the sea is pretty inane. It's a pretty inane thing to write about. I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. It's beautiful, Yuri. What inspired you to write about the sea? Well, actually, it's because of the poems Natsuki and I wrote yesterday. They ended up being very similar to each other, so I wanted us to write about the same topic again, to better compare the differences in our writing styles and thought processes, you know? Anyway, it was my idea. Of course, it's no surprise he'd agree to it. He probably just wanted to show off his simplistic technique. I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It's quite refreshing and allows me to calm my thoughts once in a while. And these two have some issues they need to work out. Well, if I may be perfectly honest, both of you did a great job of trying to help. Both of you did a great job of trying out each other's styles. That's good to hear. Perhaps we'll do it again one day. Alright, Natsuko! This one's alright. Alright. Yeah, about as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's not exactly my style. It's fine though. You're trying, and that's what counts. Of course I'm trying. And I'll consider that as another compliment. I appreciate you being this emotionally invested in my poems. Well, someone in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Shame on you for being late today, though. Take it easy. I don't plan to make it a habit. I'm glad to hear that. I'd hate to think my critique on your writing might be scaring you off. Like I'd actually do that. I like it here, even if I have to put up with you. Put up with me, eh? Yeah, I guess that means I'll need to take my cookies and donuts elsewhere. I'm sorry. I was just joking. I know. Don't worry. I was too. Shorty better not be joking around when it comes to those goddamn cookies and donuts. Anyway, he holds his poem out to me. And I think I'm really gonna love this one. In the sea with me. The mood is gray and dreary. I'm bored and need some sun. The day is too nice to feel this weary. Come with me. Let's have some fun. Let's hit the beach, the two of us. Play in the sand with me. Is this feeling new to us? Or is it just a salty sea? Surfs up, waves rise. It should come as no surprise. Tides roll, wipe out. I'm feeling it without a doubt. Whenever you're lonely, you know where I'll be. This love is grand, so take my hand. I'll set you free. In the sea with me. Life's been so much brighter since I walked this beach with you. The air feels warmer, lighter. The ocean's never been so blue. The sun sets over the tide. The birds have silenced their tune. We spend the night lying side by side, watching the silvery moon. Warm nights, big skies, starlight shining in your eyes. Cool breeze, we'll sing. For you, I will do anything. If you need me suddenly, I'll be there in a hurry. This is not a game. Just call my name. I'll set you free. We'll happily, forever be, eternally, frolicking in the sea, together, just you and me. Yeah, felt like I keep writing about negative things, so I thought, try writing about something nice for once. Besides, the ocean is awesome. Kinda hard to write about anything negative about that. I liked it a lot. It sounds like it could be a song. Yeah, I decided I wanted to write something with a positive message, and then I learned it had to be about the sea, but I was able to make them work together anyway. Why did it have to be about the sea? Well, Yuri and I realized we wrote about the same thing yesterday, and I wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it. I thought it'd be fun to compare our writing styles. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical by accident. But there's nothing wrong with using metaphors once in a while. It was an interesting experiment, that's for sure. Glad I thought of it. Psh, okay then. Doesn't really matter to me whose idea it was. What a weird thing for either of them to lie about. Finally, best boy Satori. Lion, this is your best one yet. It's really amazing. Thanks, buddy. Uh-huh. He seems much calmer. Almost too calm. Satori, you alright? Alright. I'm sorry about yelling at you earlier. I'm just a little moody today. Don't worry about me, though. I'll be fine. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think I got much sleep last night, so I'm a little tired too. Do you need a nap or something? Don't be silly, I'm fine. Stop worrying so much. Well, I'll try. You know, I'm a little surprised. After reading your first poem, I really thought you'd start writing poems like the way Yuri does. But in the end, it shouldn't be all that surprising. I spend most of my time with you, even in the club. But why? Would you want to get closer with everyone else? Wasn't that the plan? Well, yeah, it was, but I understand you the most. I'm the most comfortable around you. We have this connection. It makes it easier for me to write when I think about you. Nothing can ever change that. No! The unexpected outburst caused me to jump a little in surprise. I'm prepared to snap at him, but then I noticed the tears in his eyes. Why? Why are you doing this? He's having trouble keeping his voice steady. Doing what, Satori? This would be so much easier if you just start spending time with them instead. What will be easier? I look around to see if anyone's watching us, but they all seem preoccupied. I lean into Satori and whisper, Look, I knew something was off with you today, and you've just confirmed it. Now you better tell me what's going on with you. Just forget it. I'm sorry I said anything. I just want you to talk to me. I stop when I see Satori grab his book bag. What are you doing? I'm going home early today. Then I'm going too. No! Please. I need to be left alone today. Okay? Just tell Mateo I wasn't feeling well. I'll see you. Whatever. Before I can say anything else, Satori turns and walks out the door, mumbling to himself. I watch him go, helplessly clutching my wrinkled poem. As much as I'd love to follow him out the door, something tells me it's best to leave him be for now. Okay, you three. Since we're all done sharing poems, let's figure... Hold on a second! What do you mean, you three? Natsuki glances around the room. It appears Satori is missing. Maybe he went off to take a leak? No, I don't think so. He usually announces that sort of thing. I smile a little to myself. When he's around, Satori looks down on bathroom humor. I guess Mateo was right about one thing. Satori is a different person when he hangs out with the boys. Actually, he said he's going home early because he wasn't feeling well. Really? I hope he's alright. Perhaps you should have gone with him, Lion. Hey, I don't blame her for not wanting to walk home with him. He's kind of been a jerk all day. True, but given their close relationship, might have been a good idea to go with him anyway. Look, first of all, stop misunderstanding my relationship with Satori. Secondly, I'm sure what Satori needs right now is some space. He'll be fine by tomorrow. At the weekend, at least. I think she's right, guys. I talked to him earlier, and he just needs some alone time. There. See? Nothing for you guys to worry about. Yeah, I'll check on him later. Great! Well, now that's settled. Let's move on to finishing the festival preparations. What's everyone going to be doing this weekend? I know what I'm doing. Of course. Natsuki will be preparing the treats for the event. We'll need a lot of them in various flavors and colors. Can you handle all that by yourself, Natsuki? Yeah, of course. My mom will be baking them, so... Is she? How nice of her to do that for us. Remember, thank her for me. Yeah, sure. As for myself, I'll be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Satori will be helping me design them. As for Yuri, you can, Yuri looks embarrassed. Can Mateo really not find anything for him to do? Then again, he has been bizarrely out of character since yesterday. It must be distracting him. Well, since Satori isn't here, pretty boy clearly needs a backup. I better jump in. Yuri, you can be in charge of decorating and setting the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as he stares at his desk in focus. Your mind is already working, I see. I'm sure you'll come up with something interesting, Yuri. Great idea, Lion. Now that just leaves you. Me? Oh, damn it, I have to help too. I suppose that's to be expected. I am in the club after all. Now let's see. Yuri has a difficult task to handle. It'll probably go a long way to give him a hand. So many dirty jokes, so little time. You could always help me out as well. Yeah, I would really be appreciative of that. That's... Why has Mateo been so interested in spending time with me lately? And is he seriously suggesting I spend the weekend with one of the club members? Everyone's acting so weird today. Well, I suppose I could use some help. Well, is there something you want to add, Natsuko? Natsuko looks at me nervously. It's just that, now that I think about it, my mom might be busy this weekend. So, yeah, I might have to do some baking myself. Not that it's a thing that I usually do, because I don't. But, maybe Lion can help me? If she likes to bake, that is. Natsuko, are you sure you're even suited for the task, since baking is something you claim to never do? I never said I'd do it! I never said I'd never do it! It's just not... Well, it's not like a hobby of mine or anything. You freaking... Oh, why is Natsuko so cute? I do know how to do it. And I'll need help with it too. Besides, throwing together a couple decorations isn't going to be that hard. Excuse me? It will be very meticulous work. Oh, and baking isn't? Both of you, stop it! Mateo's sudden call to action silences the other two instantly. This is going to be an easy argument to settle. In the end, it's up to Lion to decide how she wants to contribute. Besides, maybe she wants to help me instead. Yuri and Natsuko scowls at the last sentence, but they remain quiet. Lion, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Alright, fine. So be it. In that case, everyone look straight at me. Satori. Satori might benefit from spending the weekend with me after today's fight. He'll likely be wanting to apologize 20 times while we work. It'll be good for him and maybe even put him in a better mood. I mean, if it's going to be okay for everyone, I prefer helping Satori. We're already neighbors and... But Mateo said Satori's helping him. Jeez, you're so codependent. It's not going to kill you to rip yourself away from Satori's side for a day. Sorry, Lion. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated. Just think of the club, okay? What? I can't? No! Mateo! This might be my only opportunity to hang out with Mateo, especially since he's been a little nicer lately. I guess I should probably be helping Mateo. Fantastic decision. Hold on a second. Yeah, Mateo, you need the least help out of all of us. I agree. Not only is your work already suited for just one person, but you've got Satori helping you as well. She has already made her choice. Oh, come on. It's obvious you scared her into picking you in the first place. Actually, You're the club president, Mateo. You're supposed to make responsible decisions for the club. Also, you shouldn't let any ulterior motives interfere with this decision. Ulterior motives? What? If anyone's got ulterior motives, it's you two. Excuse me? Otherwise, this wouldn't have been made such a big deal in the first place. Mateo, that's totally false. Yeah, we're the ones with a huge load of work to do. How are you supposed to do a good job if you make us work alone? Well, yeah, I suppose. If we want our event to succeed, we need to appropriately distribute our resources. Alright, I get it. It's technically most logical for Lion to be helping one of you. So I guess that's what we'll do. Why? Why would you even give me a choice if you're just gonna take my choice away twice? I guess Yuri then? Yuri's my next choice. Oh, frick. Fine, Yuri. There's no way I'm turning down a chance to spend a weekend with the hottest guy in the club. I mean, I'd probably be the most useful helping up Yuri. Me? Seriously? Natsuko, this was her decision. I know. So Lion, you'll be helping out Yuri then? Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. Well, our tasks will be quite tedious, so your assistance will be very useful, and your company will be greatly appreciated. That's settled then. Natsuko, are you fine handling the donuts by yourself? I mean, yeah. I'll just have my mom change the plans, that's all. It's not like I want to do a bunch of lame baking anyway. Everyone can tell Natsuko is pouting. Poor little guy. As tempting it is to stuff my mouth with donuts all day, I can't very well pass up the opportunity to spend a weekend hanging out with Yuri. I mean, I'm only human. So, is that everything we need to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you feeling excited? Well, excited might not be the right word. I am looking forward to it. What about you, Lion? I'm very excited about the donuts. Also, I'm sure the performance will be interesting too, probably. Good to see you focusing on the important things. What about you, Natsuko? Natsuko? What? What do you want from me? You want me to do somersaults and clap like a trained seal? Jeez, get off my back. What? No! That's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances around everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't know why Lion chose me. And also, your donuts are the best I've ever had. They go great with my tea. I know you say your mother makes them, but I think we all know the truth about that. And there's nothing to be ashamed of either. I wish I could make such delicious things. You should be proud. Nothing I do for the event can compare to them. So, I get it. Thanks, Yuri. I know I'm the one being immature, yet you still try to cheer me up. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at it. Natsuko isn't the only one who's surprised. Mateo and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words, but he already has such trouble trying to explain himself. Trying to console someone else must be far outside of his own comfort zone. But I understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Satori. Even if it didn't come up perfect, I could still tell Yuri was trying to say something he thought Satori would say in a situation like this. Because Satori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. Oh, you're better at it than you think. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. I have to say this. You bet your butt that my donuts are gonna be the best part of this whole event. I'm positive they will. Well, with that, there is nothing more for us today. So I guess it's time to head out. Awesome, let's get out of here. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Natsuko and Mateo out the door. Sorry. I hate to bother you, but I realized I don't have any way to contact you this weekend. Oh, wow, you're right. I can't believe I let that slip my mind. Should I give you my phone number? Yeah, I think that will be the best way. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay, I'll be stopping by your house this Sunday. My house? That's not a problem, is it? Not really. Just thought, I'd be going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I see how that makes sense. But if it's alright with you, I'd much rather go to your house. Alright. Shouldn't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way. I just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Lion. I think we'll make a very productive team. I agree. Lion, may I ask why you chose me? He's kind of putting me on the spot here. What kind of question is that? Time for an indirect answer. I chose to help you because I wanted to. Yuri thinks to himself with an extremely focused expression. I guess my answer was too vague and now he's clearly overthinking it. Okay, time for indirect answer number 2. Hey, I chose you because I want to hang out with you, Yuri. That's all there is to it. You believe me, right? Yuri thinks for another minute. He briefly makes eye contact with me, then just as quickly averts his gaze. 4 days in the club, and he still has problems looking me in the eye. I believe you. As if it takes a tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes his expression. I'm really looking forward to Sunday. I hope you find me fun to hang out with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll have a great time. And I look forward to Sunday too. We'll both have fun. After the exchange, I'll make my way to the door and Yuri follows, smiling to himself. So Yuri will be coming over on Sunday. I'm oddly excited for this. Sure, I'd rather be helping out Satori, but still my anxiety shoots through the roof. I mean, I've gotten pretty used to handling Yuri's timidness at this point. And he did say he was looking forward to it. Maybe some friendly banter will make him come out of his shell a little. I suddenly feel a knot in my stomach. Why am I scared Satori will find out about this? I mean, I kid around, but we aren't a couple or anything. Besides, like Mateo said, it's all about the club. I have nothing to worry about. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today's episode of Doki Doki Switcheroo. Thank you so much for coming. If you do want to play this mod for yourself, link to the mod will be in the description below. I do want to ask you guys, like, if you want me to, like, continue down the route I am on, because I believe I'm still going down the neutral route. If you guys want me to, like, go back and probably go through Satori's route again, like, just let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.